Okay, folks, this time I want to talk about Dr OctoRex loop player. For the people who are new to Reason and don't know much about it, to all the pioneer users of Reason, you probably know everything in this video, but maybe you could run through it and see if even you could learn something about Dr OctoRex. To start this off, I want to talk a little bit about the history back in the days in Reason 3, 4 and 5, I guess. There wasn't Dr OctoRex, there was Dr Rex, which only had one sample slot at a time. And I guess in version 5 or 6 they updated it to Dr OctoRex, which got 8 loops to choose from. Typically there's this red LED activated here, which enables the loop playback. So this means if I hit play here, the Dr OctoRex will also play. If we deactivate this, nothing will happen. So we could play Dr OctoRex ourselves. If you hit F4, there's this cool little keyboard here, which you could use with your computer's keyboard. Or we could use this mouse like I do in this video. This is just to show you this stuff. I could also play this on my keyboard in front of me, but this is easier for you to understand if I click here at 1, that means C1, 2 is C2 and so on. So let's open this. Your audio loops are cut into slices, and C1 is typically the first note of your, or the first slice of your take, and you also could play every slice in here with one MIDI note. So if I play this on my keyboard live here now, so you could easily come up with your own loops using the samples of the Dr OctoRex loop player. But there's some more. If we go deeper than C1, we get to choose the different loop slots. So it starts at E0. If I hit E0, the first loop is selected. If I hit F0, it jumps to 2 and so on until B0. But there's more. If we go even deeper than that, we got the opportunity to tune our loops. So if we select our first loop and we hit run for this, we could use the notes below E0 to trigger our loop. So for instance, D0 gives us a quick preview of the loop. C#0 does absolutely nothing, and C0 pitches our global transpose here. So if I click this, it will jump straight to 12, and you could play around with this even whilst run is activated. So I will show you this. So this goes down all the way to C-2. So we got 2 full octaves of jumping up and down in pitch. So you could easily adjust the played loop to your likings. So there are 8 slots in here. These 8 slots have different loops. So you could, for instance, record a whole drum track, differentiate the different sections from each other, and get them into here. So you could arrange your drums like a real drummer would. There are also these 3 options here trigger next loop, we got 3 options here to choose how our beat change is happening. So bar means every whole note, beat means every fourth of a note, and 16th means 16th. If I hit run, we could switch around here to get our drums a little more realistic feeling than just a straight loop. Let's put this down. I would typically set this to bar or leave it at bar because otherwise your loop gets shifted in time and doesn't really line up with the rest of your beat. So you need to be very careful to not get out of the timing of the song. Just leave it there so every loop continues until the end and then switches to the next slot you selected. This section over here is global for the whole device. So if you got loop 1 going and set up some little tweakings to the sound with all these options here, so this is just for demonstration purposes. If we set this up here and switch to another slot, all the parameters stay the same. So they doesn't change their global for all 8 loops. Let's go to this gray section over here. I already mentioned the slices in here, but you get options here per slice. So if we select, for instance, this snare, we could pitch it up 7 semitones and send it to the left side. And if you play the loop now, so you could easily get something really weird going here. If this is your kind of style, be free to do it. Be free to do whatever you want in reason. So you could mangle up your sounds a bit in here. And you also get the option to reverse a slice or get a slide to another output. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose as different outputs. So we easily could say our drum goes to 1, 2, our snare goes to 3, 4, and so on. So we could split up our drums easily in here. On the backside you see the slice output. It's called slice output here. But you also get the option to alter a slice. So we got 4 groups in here. And what this means, we could say every snare in here. So if we reset that, we could say every snare is on Alt 1. I hope that's all the snares. And this means every sound or every slice that is in an Alt group gets juggled around. So we got 4 snares. So we got a chance. So every time a snare hits, one of those 4 snares will be played. So we could just with this easy little trick here, okay, we need to do something else. Alt group 2 is our kick and some cymbal here and some silence here. So if I play this loop now, some of the hi-hats will be changed with the kick, and sometimes this one kick will disappear for a hi-hat or even for silence. So this sounds very unmusical now, but you get the point. You could juggle your beat on random basis inside of Dr. OctoRex. You also could click Slice Edit Mode, which is basically just another viewing angle. So you could say the key is changing here and the pen is changing there, the level is changing here, here, and here. You get the idea. So you could easily switch up your beats with this technique. So you really could go wild on this. This makes a lot of fun. Definitely makes a lot of fun. And you also could decrease the polyphony in here. If you play with your keyboard, you are able to trigger multiple notes at a time based on your polyphony. So if I say a drummer only has 4 limbs, so 2 arms, 2 legs to choose from, the maximum on a drum track for me would be 4. So in none of the times there are more than 4 notes playing at the same time. Okay, I guess that's all for today. I hope you learned something in here. If not, you're very smart. I would say see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.